Okay, so welcome to this tutorial for making frosted or blurred glass. This is what we're going to be making. Something like this. This has actually got a post-process on it as well. I'll turn that off to show you what it could look like without the post-process. See, it loses some of the depth in the background. I'll disclaimer this with just saying that it's still very much a work in progress. I've not really tested performance too much. It seems to be working okay on my end at the moment. Still, lots of values can be tweaked and changed so that you can actually get a hell of a lot out of this with more tweaks. So let's get going. Let's start from scratch and to get rid of these. I'm just going to I'm going to delete them. So I've got my completed folder which I'm going to cheat from on my other screen from time to time. But for now, let's start off with a brand new frosted glass folder. We're going to need a blueprint. I'm going to call it the frosted. Do I spell? No, I did not spell it right. Frosted glass. We are going to need a render target. Preface that with our render target RT. Frosted glass. And we're going to make it not huge. Let's just see, what did I set mine to? That's right, 480 by 270. So it's 16 by 9 aspect ratio, or thereabouts. Really small because we don't actually need that high resolution for frosted glass because we're blurring it anyway. And also it just destroys performance at something like 1920 by 1080. We're also going to need a material, frosted glass, and we're going to need a lot more going along and some fixes for camera. I'm actually going to just quickly set it back to the default third-person character. So this is the straight up one that you get right out of the box with Unreal Engine third-person character blueprint. I should have said that at the beginning, that's what I'm using for this. But we're going to actually need to change that a little bit further down the line. But for now, we're just going to start off with the basics. So open up the frosted glass handler. Open up all of my screen in for a second. And also your material. So first things first, we want a scene capture component 2D. We're going to search for texture. And we're going to put in the frosted glass texture that we just made. This is the one that I just made. The other one was from my already completed test. That's all we need for that. Don't bother with any of the post-process settings for the moment. In fact, everything's done apart from we will use Final Color, LDR. That takes into account your post-process settings. But we'll set it here now just in case we forget later. Okay, and let me just go over to my screen so I can cheat and remember what we need to do first. Let's open up the material and we'll go straight into that. This is my already done one, and I'm going to cheat off screen. Okay, I'm going to start off with the basics. Basically, we are using this scene capture component to draw to a frosted glass render target in real time. And in fact, it's set to capture every frame and on movement here. We're not going to want those, but I will show you quickly exactly what that does. So if I bring that to around here, hopefully it's going to point in the right direction, and open up this and pull it on screen. So here you can see it's drawing with like I think there's a few examples that use a CCTV camera example in the content examples on the Epic Games thing. So that's all that does, and we're going to use that image to make it kind of blurred and frosted. And the way we do that is by using screen align UVs. You type in screen position, and we're going to be using viewport UVs. Let's do it super simple straight off. So hold down T, left click for texture sample, and type in RT frosted glass, and it's that one, and just drag it straight in there. And pop it on. We don't need to be unlit or anything. We can use normals and roughness to kind of make our frosted glass look a little bit better. I'm not going to be doing that now, but just an idea for you. So you can see how it's kind of now aligned to our screen. That picture is taken obviously from the perspective wherever that is here. So it's going to look a bit weird. This is the most simple setup. I'm going to be going in a little bit more detail after we've set up the rest. And we're going to want to apply it to a plane. Just drag it out. Just drag the glass in there. Okay. So, cheating again. In our frosted glass handler, let's get rid of these. In begin play, we're going to want to make this kind of like as extendable as possible, abstract it from the rest, meaning we want to find any camera that the player is using. So to do that, we want get player controller, get the view target, get view target. So this is the current view target. This is what the player's using, the camera that the player's looking through. Want its root component, and we're going to get children components. And we're doing this so we can loop through and find the exact camera to play with. It's a little bit messy, but for now it'll work. That's for each, going through every child component in that view target, whatever actor it may be, and we'll look for a camera, because why not? We can do anything else really, but the camera, I mean, it's just kind of safety proofing it. We can promote this to our main camera. Or, yeah, let's keep the main camera. Maybe base camera might be better or whatever. And now we're going to attach this to our main camera. So that wherever this main camera goes, i.e. This, which is moving around orbiting display here, the scene capture will go. Okay. And we're going to see that now, hopefully. Let's apply that. Okay, so you can see the camera's kind of like orbiting around, taking on the position of the player. But something's not quite right there, is it? Okay, so our issue is that we didn't click include all descendants. So now we'll see this plane / the render target is aligning to exactly what we're seeing. It's going to be really tough because it's re-rendering and again the same plane here. Like how if you pointed a camera at a computer monitor like a webcam and you get that kind of infinite down effect, it's doing the same thing here. So that means we need to make sure that it doesn't render this plane, and this solution's arguably a little bit dodgy, but it works. I couldn't find a better way. Please tell me if you think of a better way. So let's go about removing it from the scene capture component. I'm going to tag it with, in the actors, frosted glass, save, and now in tick, before we tick actually, let's make a little sequence here, and we're going to store in the frosted glass handler all the frosted glass actors that we tagged. So type in frosted glass in here, and we're going to loop through them all and because this is just actors, we're going to want, well, this is a static mesh actor, isn't it? It doesn't actually say that, but it is one. So cast a static mesh actor, and for quickness and ease, we're just going to promote that quickly and change that to an array. And we're doing it this way, at least I'm doing it this way, because, hang on, AllGlass. Because I don't want to be casting to a static mesh actor every time we go through the... You know what, actually I don't think we need to bother. No, not at all. Let's just, if we do, I'll go back and change it, but let's just promote this straight off to a array, and avoid more processing later on. So AllGlass. So on the tick, what we want to do is loop through AllGlass, and this is why this is potentially pretty performance heavy, because we're going to be, depends on how much glass we have, but we're going to loop through every glass, every piece of glass, every frame. So yeah, a bit worrying. There's probably a million different better ways. Please tell me if you think of one. We're going to set it to hidden, and then when all the glass is set to hidden, we're going to grab our capture component and tell it to capture the scene. So while it's hidden, take a little picture, and then we're going to show them again. For that to work, we need to go back into here and take off capture movement and capture every frame, because we're going to be doing that here. And let's see if that works. Nope. Oh, wrong way around. Stupid boy. Okay. There we go. And now it's not capturing it anymore, and you can see it going straight through. Almost perfectly lined up. It will be better as we full screen it, because it's closer to the aspect ratio. And you can also see there's this gnarly little delay, and especially apparent when we move our character, it really flicks around weirdly. And those are some of the changes that we have to make to the character, because it's locked to this control, using control rotation. You can see it on the, because we're using this blueprint that comes with the template. You can see the camera boom here, the thing that gets rotated around the character. Can't do it. It uses form control rotation, inheriting all these things, and is attached to it. So I think it runs in some kind of separate asynchronous way. Could be talking about my arse here. And that's what's causing those kind of weird hitches and like lag. So the way around it, I've found, is to just completely abstract the camera away from the player, attach it, and rotate it manually. So we'll do that right at the end, because we're going to just get to the meat of it, which is making it frosted. Let's remove the collision for the camera channel, and now we can just see straight through to the player behind now, which is nice. So let's get to the blurring. This is going to take a little bit. What we want to do is grab the scene texture, and make a parameter, hold down S, left click, and call it blur. Let's keep it at 0 or 1, why not for now, append. So we're making a 2-dimensional vector, and multiply that by the size and blur sample offsets. And now this is where it gets a little bit, not fiddly, but annoying. So we're going to want 8 of these. Let's just kill that. So I'm just Control C, Control Ving. So we want 8 of these things, and we're going to literally drag each one of these blurred offsets into the UV channel. Oh, I went really wrong there. Have I missed one? Yes, clever. Always do this. Okay, so we're just correcting our error. Well, I'm just correcting my error. Okay, now we need to add all of these together. So these two. Oh, for quick add, it's hold down A and left click. Add these two together. Add these two together. Then we're going to add all the results. And I added one more than necessary then, because I can't count, although actually it will count them. Okay, now we divide it by the number there are. Don't have a shortcut for divide, probably should. So 8. And we're just going to check this into base colour now. Okay, to our folder, let's make an instance so we can change the blur on the fly. Pop in the material. Let's play. Oh, what have we done wrong? What have I done wrong? Oh, right, yeah, that's pretty stupid. The key part to all of this. The screen position, I just completely forgot. Now we're going to have to go and add all over again. So we need 8 adds. I'm going to add this UV for this UV. Oops. And put it in like that. And repeat for each one. And the line. It's a bit tedious after a while. Don't have anything to say while I'm doing this. Trying not to pop it up too much. Trying to make this last one. Things keep getting in my way. Okay, hit apply. Okay, this time. Here we go. Okay, let's open up our instance that we applied to the plane. Get the blur out. There we go. So now we can just change this little thing to show how much we want blur. We can't go too far because then you see you've only got 8 and it starts getting very apparent what we're doing, which is where the post-process comes in. This is kind of layering up the effects to make the blur better. So pop it to 5, yeah, it's going down. And quickly show you while we're in the material how just to add a little bit of a white tint. So it's just the same as now, any material, any texture sample, all this, it's just one big, same as just having that there. So you can alter it in any way you see fit, multiply it by a colour for a tint. For now we're just going to add, and just call it tint amount probably, because we're just adding white to it essentially. Just to make it like that. There we go, now it's kind of like false white. And of course you can do that any way you please, as I was saying. Color and that. So go and screw that up, didn't I? That's through holding down 3, by the way, and left clicking. Going to call color, because we're British. And multiply it. And actually, we'll just keep the add in as well, because multiplying by white will just keep it the same colour. It won't actually make it go like milky. But we can give it a reddish, pinkish tint. Don't add too much. There we go. How cool is that? So, let's address the nasty flickering movements, shall we? What we're going to do is make a brand new third-person controller. And we're going to go in here and Control W just to copy them out. Call it NoCam or something along those lines. Your choice. Check him into your folder and make a brand new blueprint and call it camera. I've already got a one called camera, so just ignore my camera 2. Add in a spray arm, exactly like it has in here, and the camera to the end of it. Let's make ours like 500 something. So don't want you anymore, we want the no cam one. We're going to delete our camera and camera boom. And we are going to make a begin play. Draw, begin play. We're going to spawn our new camera in with spawn active class, camera 2. Get the transform of this guy just for the sake of putting something in there. Promote this to camera. And get player control. Set view target blend. It's going to be our new camera. This basically just tells the game that we're setting our new view to this camera, and it instantly, because we're not putting any delays on it at all. Before I forget, in Frosty Glass Handler, we are going to now need to add a small dirty delay, 0.1, so that when we grab this, it knows to actually get this one, because it takes a frame or so to make this first, and then, oh god, where am I going? And this kind of just sets it along, what, more than a frame, obviously, but sets it along so that this camera has already been spawned, so we can set it here. That's just safety, just in case this begin play gets called before this begin play, which is probably quite likely. Okay, that is all for begin play, but we do need to move it. And actually, before I do that, let's set it up so that in game mode, just set it to override with, so it looks like this, I think, for you. Yeah. Let's override it with the original third-person game mode, and then come back into here, change the pawn, select pawn, select pawn to, this is my one that I made before, and this is the one that we just made, to go no cam. So you can see our camera is there, but we've just spawned it, set the view, and we're not attached to it at all or anything. So in here, what we're going to do is make a tick. Actually, let's attach this to this character. Attach the camera to the character, see if it works. Otherwise, we'll do the tick method where we just set it every frame to the location. yeah, of course it's going to do that. That's right, I remember now why I didn't do it. Because it inherits the rotation and we don't want to do that. So for tick, we want to set world location, set actor location to get actor location. And while we're at it, these are going to conflict with the camera's view, like the camera's spring arm. Where am I going? With this spring arm here, it's going to clip in between it unless we kind of like moved it back, but let's not bother fiddling now. Let's just full on just get rid of the collision channel. So set this to custom and ignore the camera. And here again, custom, ignore the camera. Okay, there we go. So as you can see, we're moving with the player, and there's no like nasty pitching, but there's also no rotation. So quick. Again, dirty seems to be the favourite word at the moment. You can do a hell of a lot more for camera logic, and you're going to probably have to, or figure out a different way. Because I'll show you the issues, but let's get this done first. So add room, add world rotation, split. So this is hooking up to the mouse where it was doing it before. We're just adding control yaw and pitch input, but we're not using the controls yaw or pitch input. So turn is to the yaw and look up is to the pitch, and they're both just going to fire it off. Oh, it's inverted, so that's only on the pitch though, so it's multiply -1. That's better because I'm not a invert, and so that's where some of the issues come in. But look at that, that's awful. How have I put it? How did I do it before? I think I was just getting away with not messing with it too much. Oh, I know. Add relative rotation to the default scene root. That'll clear it up. There will still be issues, and I'll show you though. So pitch, delete. Okay, there we go. So, and no nasty glitches or bad lag. There is a tiny bit, and it is kind of compressing. You can see where if I shift F1 to get my mouse here, see where it doesn't all line up perfectly. I mean, thankfully you could probably play that down to like refraction and just call it a day. It will line up better the closer the resolution is to the aspect ratio of this being 16:9. My monitor is 920 by 1080, but this viewport goes to like 1050 or something because of I don't think you'll be able to see it because of the Windows bar at the bottom. I'm going to show you a quick fix for that though, just to kind of in the material, just to try and get around that issue a little bit. But ultimately, if you're going to ship a game, you probably want to do multiple different versions at set resolutions for this, just to be sure. But in case anybody takes it into like windowed mode, I'm going to show you how to scale the UVs to better match your viewport. There we go. That's what I was trying to get at. In fact, Maze, let's do that now. Let's do that now. Okay. So we want the view size. This gets the viewport dimensions. Component mask out. I'm not going to go through this too much. I'm just going to whiz through it, and you'll figure out the math for yourself. It's standard kind of like aspect ratio figuring out stuff that I just googled and found online through websites. But for now, just bear with me. So we're finding like the right multiplying, dividable ratio, whatever the hell you want to call it, to scale the UVs by. So this is the, let's call it user ratio, which would be this, yeah. And we have the original ratio, which is the size of our render target, 480 by 270. So let's just make some constants for now, because it can't be asked with too much flexibility. That would be absurd. It wouldn't. I should. But I won't. So we're going to call this the original ratio, and we're going to mask out the height. So we're going to scale it by y, by the height, by doing scale around the point. So texture scale is going to be that. Oh, no, it's not, because it's a vector 2. We need to append it with a 1, because we're not going to bother with the width. We're just going to do it with a height for now, because it will be fine-ish. And the UVs that need to go in there is the screen position UVs. And now we need to should have made a little reroute node, but I didn't. Something like this. So let's go in and replace all of these now. Should have done it at the start probably, but I didn't really want to convolute things. Did I really not put that at the bottom? I mean at the top. So now we can just kind of flick between them quite easily without having to fuck around doing that 8 times again and again and again. Right. Right, so now you should see the lines matching up a little bit better when there we go. So shift F1. So now they're all lining up a little bit nicer, but you'll see it kind of stretches a little bit. I can't find a good test case for it, but you will see at like the bottoms of the screen and stuff, it will be real evident. But, you know, I think it's a pretty nifty little solution to that when the user doesn't have it at the optimal resolution. Okay, next. In fact, that's pretty much done. Honestly, that's it. Apart from there's a few other things that are nice to do. You can see how the player has a bit of an effect on it in front of the glass. You don't really want that. It's going to be kind of hard to see, but they kind of ghost a bit. It might be easier to see if you make the blur bigger. Yeah. So you can see this like faint outline around him. That's really evident when he's moving. And we just looks ugly. So let's change that. In our frosted glass handler, again, this is just like a quick solution to it. Might be better ones, might not. I'm going to make a little sequence. So this is. We're going to break this up better. So first thing, we break off the sequence here for something in a bit. So the first thing is we hide all our glass. Hide all glass for the capture. Then, when that's done, we'll capture while it's all hidden, and then we'll unhide them. And it's really weird because these new hidden things, it kind of throws me. So then we'll make glass. after capturing. We've not changed anything, we're just going to laying it out better because I'm going to do something with the player now. And it's just so it's real obvious where the capture is happening. So we're going to want to drag off of here and we're going to check to see if the player, we're going to cast a ray out from our camera location, which is like here, yeah, well, like here, and we're going to cast a ray straight out to the player and see if there's anything between it, and if there is something in between it, we'll make it visible to the capture. So like if this goes in between, if this like, we'll do a box trace of this kind of size, and if this gets in between it, we'll make it visible to see. But if there's nothing hitting it, then we'll hide the player to the capture. So let's get the camera manager, and we'll also get the player character, and we're going to get typing get location. What else do I want? A box trace by channel in the visibility, yeah. And the start is going to be our main camera location. Wait, I'm just cheating off screen. Why did I grab the camera manager? It's kind of redundant actually, seeing as we've got our main camera. Get location. So that's where we're starting from the camera location. Easy. And we're going to get the forward vector of the camera. Get camera view. Is the main camera the component? I can't remember if I said it. Yes, I did. Okay. I was worried it might be the actor where the spring arm is set, but no, it is where the camera is, so it's fine. So we also want its forward vector. If you've never done ray trace stuff, and you don't understand how vectors and timesing employed like that works, I do look that up first, and I'm surprised you got this far. Just without that basic knowledge. But anyway, so that sums up by -50, so that we're kind of casting to the back of the player. So we add that vector to this vector. And make that the end location. There are, again, better ways of doing this, but this is just a quick and easy way of doing it. And we're going to grab the rotation as well. World rotation of the mesh. Yeah, why not? Anything. And we're going to trace out. Okay, let's make that visible for just one frame, just to show. Oh, didn't set the size of the box. I think made 50 worked alright last time. Also getting an error. So there you can see there is a box being traced out from our location and put around the player. Oh. So you can see here. Also, you can see the ghosting on those lines on the blurred glass. It's weird. So nothing's hitting it, and then as soon as we get behind here, it gets hit. Same thing for everything else, you know, that's just how line traces work. Actually, I've got to show you how to fix this weird. See, I'm struggling to walk with this because I'm walking in the direction of the forward vector of the player. We want to be walking in the forward direction of the camera just to make it a bit nicer, seeing as we took away all that stuff. So really quickly, before I forget, we're going to go back into our third person character, and then here, instead of the control rotation, we're going to grab the camera's forward rotation. Actual rotation of the camera inside the camera. To God, please come up with some better names. Split that. Take it to your. There we go. Now we're moving to wherever the camera is facing. It might not have been evident for you, but for me it was really weird moving it around, and that will fix your problem. Okay, back to the frosted glass handle. We'll ignore that error. Should we? Yes, we should. No, we shouldn't. Yeah, let's ignore it. Okay, branch if we hit something. So, if we do hit something, we need to check that it's frosted glass. Has tag frosted glass. Branch, no, branch, I've got that one. And so if we hit something, and it's true, we're going to make a new variable, call it cold player, make it a bool, make it definitely not an array. We're going to set it to don't cold player, and on the false ends, cold the player. Because every time we don't hit the player, don't hit something in front of the player, we want to make sure the player is cold in the scene capture component. We don't want to see it here because it's going to create that weird artifact. Okay, so I'm cheating again on screen, and in here we'll grab cold player branch. So if we're calling player, we're going to get the player character, set visibility, well, set hidden in game, and we do want it to be hidden. And then after capturing, let's just, for the sake of it, always set it, don't bother with the branch, because let's just make sure it's always set to not hidden. There's our player, and we're actually, let's remove the debug lines for frosted glass. That's right. Let's remove the debug lines from this. What is that error that we're getting? Oh, I know, it's because our main camera isn't available to us yet because of the delay for the tick. So let's make a real quick little setup complete. If I could spell complete. Boolean. Just say that yes, the setup's been complete, and now we can start ticking, executing our tick if it is complete. That will get rid of the error message. Okay. So hopefully you can see no weird artifacting, and we get blurred. Okay, so the player is just not getting rendered when it's out here by the scene capture. That doesn't equate for anything else that's moving out in front of it. Solve that on yourself, but the player's still the most likely thing to move around a lot in front, so might be the nicest thing to try and fix. And there are a whole bunch of little tweaks you can probably make to this ray casting stuff. Maybe do a little dot product instead, probably best. But for now, simple method works well. That's it, I'm pretty sure. That is everything that I have for you. No, it's not. No, it's not. Didn't do post-process stuff. Okay. So in construction script, let's grab view. We're going to set post-process settings. Make a little branch. Make a little boolean. Say use post-process. Let's just make it a public one so we can edit it in scene. Okay. So we're going to want to make some post-process settings, and in here you go and you turn them on and off, as so. I'm going to copy them because it's going to take a little while from my other thing. I've got a gamma correction, just to boost the gamma up again, because there's some weird error where, not an error, there's just a a thing that happens where the scene capture component captures the scene a bit darker than everything else. Could be something to do with exposure settings, which is why I also tried to set them in here, but still wasn't fixing it. So just up the gamma a bit. I also ticked on using the Gaussian depth field. It's near transition, far transition, near blur, far blur, and set them to some arbitrary amounts that I thought looked good. And you literally just come in here and you tick the pins and change them at will. And just to have like a mess around, I was using just to demo how that worked. I used the post-process volume in here, and because you can't do it real time in the blueprint, just kind of messed around in here until I found something I liked. And then copied those settings and made them in here. So let's drag it in. File save. Where is our frosty boy? There we go. So use post effects already on play. You can see it's really blurred now, especially in the background. Let's take off our blurring, our like material blur. You can see that the background where there's like, oh, see, look at this. So because we're clipping the floor, we're actually we're culling it before it's necessary. So it's just more tweaks you've got to make. But you can see where the clouds are getting really blurred because of that post effects. Let's take the color back to white. And you can do all sorts in this now. You can change the tint or the saturation. I don't know, really values to put in here. There we go. So look how the saturation is just like super saturated now. And it's not like a cool little window now into different visual effects that you can put between it. But it's hampered by the resolution of the scene capture component. Quite obviously, you see that pixelation and weird artifacting, which is why making it frosted glass works quite nicely, I think, because you don't need that high resolution. If I chuck this up to 1920 by 1080, we're going to see some like serious performance. Like, it will be crisp, really crisp, almost like you're just looking through the video. It's almost exactly the same, but at the cost of performance. And I can't really do much here because the performance is already way off rack. I've got a window up on the other side. It's in editor, but just trust me on this one. So we're going to take this back down and re-blur it for 5. You've got post effects. Oh, and you may as well make it two-sided. Why not? Works exactly the same. There we go. And on the other side, it's casting a shadow, so it is darker, which is what's quite cool about. I'll figure that out some other time. Why it's doing that. It's pretty versatile being a opaque material. You can even make a translucent one if you wanted to. The possibilities are endless. Any shape, because it's screen aligned, it's not going to get all dragged out and weird. There you go. Look at that. Voila. So, that's it. That's the end of it all. There are going to be project files for you. I'm going to put it in the link in the description of the video. However, it's going to be on Gumroad for, I don't know, like a couple of quid or something, I expect. Just because, you know, these things take time. I do freelance contract work. I'm happy to give these tutorials away for free, but, you know, anything that can make a quick buck to make me some coffee, like get me some coffee in the mornings, that'd be great. So project files are going to be extremely cheap on Gumroad, but tutorials free. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope the microphone quality hasn't been too bad.